On today's home front, the push to provide desperately needed help to veterans with catastrophic injuries and their families who care for them. Last month, Republican lawmakers in the House introduced the Sherry Briley and Eric Edmundson Veterans Benefits Expansion Act. The bill would expand benefits for veterans who suffer critical injuries during their service, but it goes beyond that to help address what veterans groups call the hidden cost of trauma and then impact of that on families' resources and time. Advocates say when you strengthen the caregiver, you strengthen the veteran. This bill is named for Sherry Briley, the widow of an Army Black Hawk pilot who was killed in Somalia in 1993, and for Eric Edmundson, a former Army sergeant whose Humvee was hit by a roadside bomb in Iraq in 2005, leading to shrapnel wounds, a heart attack, and a brain injury. On Wednesday, Eric and his father testified on the Hill in favor of this bill, and they are with us now. Eric and Ed, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
That must have been something to testify before Congress. For our families of wounded warriors, there is a lot of invisible labor, and it is done with love. Yeah. It's done with so much love. Yeah. But it is a job that is all-consuming and so important. So tell us what the extra support in this bill will mean for families like yours and so many others.
Yeah. The passing of H.R. 6047 would mean a lot to Eric and all the hundreds of veterans like Eric who are catastrophically injured. It will help them not only in the present but in the future. It will help them cover expenses that he's having trouble covering now because the cost of living is astronomical, and they have not had an increase in compensation pay for years. And that's what we're on the Hill today advocating for, is trying to get an increase.
Eric, did it surprise you to have a bill named for you? Tell us about the health challenges that Eric faces and the health challenges that Eric faces and what that means for him day in, day out.
Well, Eric deals with a lot of health issues. Eric, he can't speak, he can't walk, he can't dress himself, feed himself. Eric has to have someone by his side 24/7. Help him get dressed, brush his teeth, get him ready for the day. Eric has, when he was injured, he suffered a traumatic brain injury, multiple injuries. He's full of shrapnel today. And then after they stabilized him, he had a heart attack. It took him 30 minutes to revive him. So on top of that, he has an anoxic brain injury, which is causing the majority of his issues today.
So you and your wife and Eric, your wife, have become your expert caregivers, right? And I think for our veterans, I think we know it's so important to honor their service and their sacrifice. But I do think it's sometimes easy for people to forget that part of that is honoring what the family members are doing for our veterans to help them. How does it honor Eric's service and sacrifice and the service and sacrifice of other wounded veterans to make sure that their families are able to provide them the care they need and that they're able to get the care they need?
Yeah. When Eric was injured and returned home from Iraq, we met him at Walter Reed, and he spent several days in the intensive care unit. But it was obvious to his mother and I that he was going to need long-term care. So we took our retirement, burnt down our debt load, so we could come on board with his wife Stephanie and help take care of Eric. And what we wanted was for Eric to be a husband and a father, Stephanie to be a mother and a wife, and I have to worry about all the day-to-day issues that come with being catastrophically injured. And when Eric deployed, his daughter was 10 months old. And you remember back in Walter Reed, looking, he was laying there in his bed and his hands were laying there, but just be weeks later before he deployed, those hands were holding his newborn daughter.
You made a choice about how you wanted life to look after that.
We've been at this for 20 years. His daughter that was 10 months old when he was injured is now 21 and a junior in college, and his son Hunter is 15 years old, a freshman in high school. We kept his children out of the caregiving. We wanted them to just be children, you know.
Yeah.
And Eric's son Hunter at one time said, my dad, he said, my dad's been through HE double hockey pucks.
Hockey pucks.
HE double hockey pucks. And he's right. And Eric has endured things no mortal man that shouldn't be enduring. And we're very proud of him and his family and what they've done. And, right? And,
you're very proud of your dad too, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eric, I can see it. I can see that you are.
Mm-hmm.
Eric and Ed, thank you so much for being with us. This is such an important topic, and I really appreciate you being here to discuss it with us.